Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome to my channel. I'm sorry I'm not in front of the camera tonight. I just got home after a long day of work. I'm kind of tired, I'm already in my pajamas, but I did want to talk about some of the gaming news I saw before I headed to work this morning, because quite frankly, I think this is freaking hilarious and it just shows EA again with their excessive pride and hubris to the point of where if it didn't piss you off so much, you'd be rolling on the ground laughing. It's just, these people are so freaking arrogant that they're almost pathetic. Anyways, let's talk about this. Alright, one of the things people have said, they don't mind if microtransactions and loot boxes are done for character customization. Overwatch uses this. And people usually are fans of Overwatch. Personally, I think some of the things Overwatch does is a little bit predatory, but I wouldn't call for a boycott of the game, and I wouldn't call banning for the game, just switch a few things around Blizzard Activision. But everything in Overwatch is for cosmetics, and a lot of people, especially in online games and some off, love to customize their characters. That has been a big part of gaming in the last few years. Whether it's a single-player offline game or whether it's a competitive multiplayer game, people like to customize their characters. And game makers have found out that, we can make some money selling DLC that lets you customize your characters more. So when kind of confronted with this, fact that, hey guys, you could still probably sell even loot boxes, definitely could sell it through regular microtransactions, character customizable features, customize your characters to either reward gamers or to make a little money. EA said that they wouldn't do it because it could avoid Star Wars canon. They didn't want anyone to make a pink Darth Vader, which, by the way, you can see from this that I already did. It's basically me using Photoshop and one of the filters. So that's basically it. I mean, that's all you had to do is let someone change the hue of Darth Vader's color. But even then, Star Wars canon gives you so much to work with. I mean, Luke Skywalker has many different appearances, many different costumes that you can unlock. Same thing with Han Solo, same thing with Leia, Chewbacca. Vader would be the only hard one because he's usually dressed in black. But if someone wanted to go into the menu and decide to adjust his hue so he was hot pink, that's their choice. If it's their game, it doesn't screw up canon in a multiplayer game. I'm pretty sure what Disney was trying to make sure and stress to EA was when they put in a single player campaign that they didn't put anything in that single player campaign that would contradict their canon so it doesn't screw up their people's perception of their next movie. I'm pretty sure that's what Disney was going for. Your game in multiplayer, I've already noticed just from game footage, has Yoda battling Kylo Ren. Those two can never meet because Yoda passed away before Kylo Ren was even born. So your whole canon excuse gets thrown right out the freaking window, and you know it. This is bollocks because they don't want to back down from this because they're going to make a lot of money. Again, folks, I can't stress it enough. Don't buy this game until EA tells us exactly how it fixes the problem, because I have a feeling these bastards won't. Okay? So, don't buy the game. On another news, which is even better, a few weeks ago when this outrage just started, EA said this would have no impact on their overall profits. Whether the game sold poorly, they still said they were planning on meeting expectations. Don't know if that's going to happen now, because as of this morning, the game had yet to even crack Amazon's top 100 games of the year. When a Wii U game is beating the crap out of your new Star Wars games for the yearly sales, granted it is Zelda Breath of the Wild, but granted it's also the Wii U version, you got problems. So they haven't even cracked that. And judging from the just backlash from microtransactions, if there's any players left when they turn them on, it will be very few. So they're not going to make much money off the microtransactions. And because of this, EA stock has lost $3 billion worth of worth. Now, it's only a $6 decline, but when you kind of just factor that in for how much ever stocks there are of EA, that's a pretty big number. I mean, it equals out to over $3 billion, and I just hope this is the beginning of EA's problems. I really do, folks. Now, the problem is going to be is Star Wars will eventually blow over. New games are going to come out that don't involve the Star Wars license, and a lot of people won't be watching. I mean, most people I don't think really care about the late next Need for Speed game, and they own a whole bunch of sports games. And what I heard started this whole fuss was EA managed to do these card-based loot systems on a FIFA game, which is soccer. You can piss off as many Americans as you can with loot-based soccer games, and it's not going to impact the sales because no one really plays soccer in the USA or really pays attention to professional soccer in the USA. That's big overseas, and I don't know if they can get away with it. That said, I have a feeling they're going to have a hard time using the next FIFA game to boost their profits because Europe's starting to take a look at their model and starting to take a look at the loot box and loot boxes for pay to win. So EA might have shot themselves in the foot more than they have yet to realize. I only hope so, because I'd love to see EA turn around. Now, if you're wondering where I photoshopped this pink Darth Vader from the scene from, it's from a game called Star Wars The Force Unleashed, which is a good Star Wars game, but it's not really a great Star Wars game. It's kind of average. It has its problems. However, it's a linear, story-based Star Wars game. Something a lot of Star Wars fans have been craving, yet EA killed the latest attempt to make one and basically insulted anyone who wanted that because it's not profitable for them. And to me, this is just all the reason for Disney to take a look at that license they gave them. If there's any violations at all, start pulling it, because EA does not deserve this license. The shame of it is if this was EA from 20 years ago, back when they were a lot smaller company and were actually out to innovate and actually had a lot of smaller developers they own that were also innovated, this would have been a great thing to give them that license. 20 years ago, they were still making Wing Commander games. Could you imagine the same team that made Wing Commander games making an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter game? That would be excellent. But now it seems like the only thing EA cares about isn't about making great games based off the licenses they have. They don't care about pleasing consumers. It's about shoving microtransactions into their games just so it makes the investors look good. And my thought is, you're building your house on sand, EA. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm just hoping this is the beginning of the rainstorm, because I have a feeling that high stock price is going to come down if Europe especially starts to ban loot boxes and play to win games like you are creating. And if FIFA goes bye-bye, and if the NFL starts to take a look at your license, you're in trouble. And I hope that's what happens. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master signing out and saying, friends don't let friends buy EA games.